In episode number 7, I talked about a healthy self-esteem in general. In episode number 8, we deep dive into self-criticalness, specifically when you make a mistake and what you can do to change that self-criticalness. Today, we look again at self-criticalness, but not when making a mistake, but when we start to compare ourselves with someone and as a result feel bad about ourselves. So let's imagine for a moment, you meet a classmate from secondary school, and even though at that time, when you were both kids, you thought, this guy is a loser. He was not very good at school, didn't really get good grades and so on. And yet today he's super rich. And you think, God, how could it be? I had Ivy League education, top education, and yes, I'm doing okay financially, but God, he's so much richer than me. I should have achieved at least as much as him, if not more. And you start to feel bad about yourself. If that's something that happens to you, think again. Number 1, what are you actually comparing? Well, you compare his financial success versus your financial success. And yes, we can acknowledge that. We can acknowledge that he was much more successful financially than maybe I was. And that's fair, that's okay. That doesn't mean I'm self-critical. But if I start to expand that, make that pervasive and think, he's such much more successful person than I am, that kind of misses a lot of things. What do you know about his personal life? What do you know about how he enjoys himself at work? What do you know about how he's at peace with himself? What do you know about him that you could compare him as a person with you as a person? We actually never can. We never know anyone so well that we could completely be able to compare ourselves in a reasonable way. So it's actually quite meaningless to do that. It's meaningful to recognize that someone is very good at something or has achieved a lot in a certain aspect, and we can admire that. We can even feel a bit jealous about it. That's fine. At the same time, that doesn't make that person a better person than me. It just means in that aspect, they are better than me. And if we can recognize that, and if we can realize that in a way, no person is really better than another person overall, or at least if you still believe that, we cannot fully assess that, then it also doesn't make sense to make these comparisons in the first place. So the key to a healthy self-esteem, if you compare yourself too much with others, is to recognize what you actually compare, recognize their strengths, recognize what their success or whatever it is that you admire. At the same time, there's no need to put yourself down because you may be actually better in a number of other ways than that person is, and you may never know about it. So as you see now, to have a healthy self-esteem, we need to stop beating ourselves up, see episode 8, and we also need to stop comparing ourselves when we see someone who is better at something, because it's really not useful.